everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamsolo. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamsolo. Enjoy the show. Everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamsolo. Enjoy the show.
That's my fault. Bad start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with me, Matt Likes Games. I got my buddy Hamsolo here. There's plenty of stuff to talk about this week. I mean, it's been eventful, to say the least. A lot of good news. Well, not a lot. Some really dumb news. We'll get to all of it here in a little bit. But start with my buddy Hamsolo. what have you been up to? What have you been doing, bud?
It's been kind of chilling, man. Uh, had kind of a long night of Exo Primal last night with Gay Mega and dude, this other gentleman, Game Down Sites. Really
Mm-hmm.
cool dude, and just a ton of gaming, man. Just a ton of gaming.
I can relate to that, bud. I was I was in a party with Mike until like 2 last night, and then I realized I needed to get to sleep so I could do this properly. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna be talking about Exo Primal as well, also because you've played a lot more of that than I have. I played a game with you, but I want to hear your opinions or more of your opinions on Exo Primal because I don't think my opinions matter for much in that topic. But we will start with, or I guess I should explain what I've been playing. Really, I mean Skyrim. Just really quickly, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas. I've been playing a ton of that. Halo's new season. A lot of old Call of Duty. And we will be talking more about that as well. But first up, we're going to kind of go in order of the news that we're going to be talking about this week. And up first is the FTC losing against Microsoft, and the Activision deal can now close in the U.S. as well as many other countries. But this was a few days ago at this point. This is kind of old news, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. But long story short, the FTC, as we all know, was trying very hard to stop the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and it was a whole lengthy court case. Probably a lot of money wasted on this, and then they lose that. They appeal. They lose the appeal. So Microsoft can now officially close the deal in the U.S. But as you will soon find out, that is not the case. Well, that's not what Microsoft is going to do because they have agreed to extend the deal with Activision, or the closing date with Activision, to October 18th, which we will also be talking about later. But up first on this topic, FTC losing versus Microsoft, do you have anything to say about this, Ham?
The FTC losing against Microsoft. I find it funny that you say this is old news, still new news.
It's still
It's
new
just
news.
things are
Yes.
just happening fast.
Yes, they
So
are.
so it feels like old news because we've been following it for so long. But yeah, um, I'm happy that the FTC part is finally over for the most part. Supposedly, they may be still trying to do something, but I seen like an article. I'm not sure how honest it is, but it seemed pretty honest. I mean, it was from IGN, so take it however you wish.
Mm-hmm.
But it said like 22 like house members are trying to tell the FTC to just please stop.
They've had enough.
They've had enough, and I think everybody kind of has had enough of the whole thing. Stop wasting the money that you have. You just got denied what you asked for when it comes for extra money. So not only did you get denied, but you lost money within
Yeah.
that proposal. You got tossed in court by Microsoft and Activision. And then on top of that, your main head, the head of the FTC isn't even in good standing with her own licensing and being
Ugh.
prepared for it and not aware of everything that her team it seemed like she was just super unprepared. So just trying to continue anything in any degree to me seems silly. Seems just like a bad call. So I just
Yeah.
don't think. I think they should just stop. Just stop. Let it go. You lost, and not only did you lose, but you lost your appeal. And not only did you lose your appeal, but you lost unanimously.
Yeah.
It wasn't close.
Yeah,
So
dude.
why are you still trying?
And that's the thing that shocked me. And by the way, John Wolf in the chat, appreciate you. Appreciate you for stopping by. You've got a few comments here. FTC, FTC with the Adam 22 energy. LOL, cucking for Sony.
Oh
It's
man.
when you think about it, the FTC is kind of cucking for Sony right now. It's tragic to see, honestly. But yeah, I did see where where there was apparently some way, even after this deal closes, wherever it closes, which is going to be a lot of places, the FTC can still pursue some sort of fight with Microsoft, which is just like, at that point, just go home. Go home. You need to stop because why? First of all, why? Why are you that dedicated to losing? Because that's all you're doing, really, is just losing. And it's a waste of money. It's got to be a waste of time. I mean, you're just putting people in court who would probably rather not be there for that reason every month at some point. So yeah, I'm thrilled we're done with this whole FTC part. I say done, but whatever. We're basically done with this whole FTC part. Everything serious is off the table now. We can kind of move on from that. Lena Khan, maybe she'll keep up the fight in the background, but we'll have to wait
He
and find out.
just stinks. Just like maybe she's a good person in real life. Whatever.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
That's neither here nor there. But
Yes.
as for just the short bit of what I've seen within her tenure at the FTC, I don't know how. I mean, obviously she didn't do good in the other cases.
No.
But
No.
I didn't watch over those cases, but I watched over this one the best that I could with the knowledge that I had. And I tell you what, from somebody that doesn't know a whole lot about this type of stuff, the judicial system in general, I can't say she gives me much confidence in any aspect of government, or of really crossing T's and dotting I's. Like when it comes to why you're here and what are you doing, I don't see her as being very helpful.
I agree with that. Definitely agree with that.
And I have not, as I just said, I don't really know a whole lot about this stuff. I just don't. I haven't heard anything from her that says that she's helping people, other than she's helping what she believes in.
Yes.
It feels like her take on everything that she does is out of bias of how she feels instead of upholding what the values of her company are.
Yeah. Oh, because people even say that's one of the main complaints against her. Really, is she seems to really not like big companies, and whether it's a winning or losing fight, and all of her cases, it's been a losing fight. She just goes after that, is what it seems like, and not really doing the whole politics thing. Some people blindly support it, some people blindly disagree with it, but it just seems kind of like that is her cycle of whenever she sees big corporation doing anything involving an acquisition or merger, she's just not on board with it. She's very against it. But yeah, it just seems kind of like a waste at this point. Her whole personal bias aside, at some point you gotta be okay, maybe this is fine, or maybe this is not even worth pursuing if we're just going to continue losing like this. I mean, you would hope that would be the thought process, but as of now, it is not the thought process for Lena Khan and the FTC.
Well, my whole thing is just like, you can't tell me that after everything that I heard with that court case with Judge Corley, you cannot tell me that you went into that confident. In all honesty, like, it's all over now. We're doing after game talk. You know, LeBron James, you can't go nowhere. You got to talk to us real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a post game. This is your moment, Bam, out of Bayou to cry on camera. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this is the post game interview. Were you honestly confident that what you had was powerful to fight this situation? And if you went in and said, yes, what I had, I was absolutely confident in, I'd be like, there's the door. I apologize for putting you in this situation. That's what I mean. That's what the courts really should say, because it's like, you were appointed this position. If you were confident with what you had to fight Microsoft Activision, then you shouldn't be in this position, because that was an awful argument.
Yeah, it's a lot of
that
awful
was an
arguments.
Awful argument. That was a ton of wasted money for research that you couldn't even conclude yourself. The analysts can't even give you the numbers because the numbers don't make any sense. The threat of harm is only to one thing or a few things, but one is the market leader and another one is literally a competitor.
Yes.
Or, I mean, they're both competitors, but one's a market leader and one kind of pushed themselves out of they ejected their own seat when nobody told them to do it.
Oh yeah, Google,
for instance.
Yes, Google.
Nobody told them to leave. They didn't go out of business. They left the business. So all arguments stunk really bad. and the fact of the matter that she was in front of Congress or the House or whoever, she's in front of all those folks and was like, we seen an issue. And they're like, did you have confidence that you could really beat this? She's like, yeah, we seen an issue. We just couldn't extrapolate on it very much. That doesn't make any sense. And that's really just like, this is your king. This is, or queen, better yet. This is your queen. This is your person that you have running something to make sure things are kosher between companies before they merge. This is the person that you have doing the quality check for competition around the world and for consumers around the world. It almost seemed like you were fighting for worse competition in your argument.
Yeah.
It just all around, like, if that was an interview, I'm sorry, but next applicant, please, because that was terrible. And the fact that the worst part to me is, like, you're using I don't. It seemed like she just had no care in the world about how she was using the United States money. No care in the world.
Yeah, she
Just
doesn't.
let's give it like don't. If I were to give my daughter money to go to school, I don't expect her to give it a shot. No, you're not giving it a shot. I'm paying for you to be here. You are working.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You are busting ass. I'm figuring out whatever it is. If I see your grades are getting low, yo, we gotta have a talk.
Yes.
0-4 on big merger cases,
About to be 0-5.
bro. That's a really big talk.
It's a bad look. It's a very bad
I
look.
mean, I knew kids that came home from school with a bad report card and got that ass whooped.
Yeah.
So imagine how the people that are on the same side as her, or better yet, even worse, the Republican side of it, man, they want to give her a good spanking. I tell you what, bud.
They're ready, dude. They're ready to get her out of there. Honestly, just. I mean, I'm not gonna. But yeah, they're ready to get her out of there. They got to be furious at this point.
What up, Back from the Dead?
Yeah, Back from the Dead. See you in the chat. Appreciate you. John Wolf says the new narrative now is that Xbox gamers and supporters of this deal are for consolidation, like it's one transaction. I mean, yeah, I've seen that. I mean, Ham showed me a video of a YouTuber, whatever, MBG, who was basically saying like, if this is your idea of competition, then that's just not how it works. He basically explains, well, if Sony has to start like doing things in a much more appealing way or competing in a much more appealing way, then I guess you could call this competition. Which is like, yeah, that's competition. Sony has some competition. Now they have to start doing things to seem appealing. Because up until this point, they didn't really have to do anything to seem appealing. All they had to do was just kind of ride the PS4. Put out a game every now and then. But now they've got some competition. Some very obvious competition. And people are shocked that Sony might have to work a little bit harder. I don't know. Or at least a few people in the community are very shocked and upset by that. But you know what, Ham? What are your thoughts on that? Like, what are your thoughts on the whole take of now Xbox gamers are for like you're pro consolidation now? If this makes you happy, you're pro consolidation. You won't be happy until Microsoft acquires everything, and that's it.
I think that is a silly straw man argument.
Thank you.
Because you are salty that something big, grandeur, and positive happened for the competition, and you never wanted competition in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way I completely look at this. It's just like all these people said, hey, Microsoft needs to figure out a way. They need to do something. They need games. They need more first party output. They need this. They need that. They went and said, you know what? I'm not buying the store. I'm buying the plaza. I'm buying the whole plaza. I'm not buying just this one store. And you know what? This plaza is self-sufficient, especially if I make it be.
Yes.
It's been self-sufficient, horribly self-sufficient, but it's been self-sufficient. And I know they've been okay self-sufficient before. So I'm gonna try to turn this bus around and get it going the right way and let it continue to try to be self-sufficient and continue shopping. Because you know what? I was put in this position to have to do it this way.
Yes.
I was missing out on deals left and right, getting horrible offers for contract, having to pay for part of my competition.
Yes.
And now it's my turn. My competition, instead of me paying for them, they are paying me and nobody else.
Yes.
And they're going to see how it feels.
I'm glad you brought this up, because that's another thing that that MBG was going. I mean, not just MBG, but like so many people are like, why doesn't Microsoft just compete the way Sony's compete? Well, here's the thing: if that's what you want, like if that's really what people want, and if, let's say, the FTC did win this whole thing, the CMA, the EU, all these people, let's say they all blocked it. They won. This deal can't go through. In what reality is it better for you as a PlayStation fan that Microsoft plays PlayStation's game? Because here's the thing. If Microsoft plays PlayStation's game, that's going to be so bad for you. That's going to be not a fun time for you. Because if they're just put into a corner where, hey, you can't acquire things like this, you have to do it just how Sony's doing it, timed exclusivity deals, or just exclusivity deals, like in general. Like, they've got more money than you. They'll pay whatever price. Like, what are you paying Square Enix for Final Fantasy? I mean, I don't know how a deal like that works. Let's say $1 billion. What if Microsoft says $5 billion? Just $5 billion. And they just do that for things from now on. Because that's kind of what these people are asking for. And I don't think they realize that they don't want that. This is a lot easier. You're still getting the games, obviously. It's a lot easier for everybody in the long run if this is how things are done. And it does help competition, no matter how much you want to say it doesn't help competition. But Hard Days, Mike, shut the fuck up, Mike, before I absolutely obliterate you, bud. But I'm sorry. But yeah. Hold on a second. I want to bring up this next topic because this actually kind of bleeds into it. Which is, after the FTC loses versus Microsoft, we've got Sony just kind of bending the knee. Kind of just entirely bending the knee and agreeing to a 10-year deal for specifically Call of Duty with Microsoft. Now, this is funny for a lot of reasons. I mean, Jim Ryan, numerous times throughout this whole process, said that his whole thing was that he just wanted the deal blocked. There's not a deal that he'll ever sign. He just wants this thing gone, blocked, it's finished. Well, he signed a deal. And what's funny about that is that he signed a worse deal than what he would have gotten. What was that, back in February or late January, when Phil was trying to say, hey, we'll give you Activision, Blizzard, Call of Duty, all that stuff, all of those games for, I think it was until 2027, and that's the deal. And you can even have Call of Duty on PS Plus. Whereas Jim said no to that, and now we're here. And it's like, hey, you can get a 10-year deal, just Call of Duty. And we don't know the specifics. We don't know if it includes PS Plus, but I feel like if it did, we would know something about that. So I'm assuming it doesn't include PS Plus. We can visibly see there's no Activision Blizzard games in there besides Call of Duty. So what are your thoughts on this? Because it seems like Jim has negotiated his way into a much worse deal than what was originally proposed.
Man, like it to me, it is embarrassing, but at the same time, what other position is Jim gonna be able to hold at that point?
Yeah.
You took, you seen the home run.
Yeah.
You were sitting in the outfield expecting to catch that out and run off the field, but instead, it's the bottom of the ninth. It was a tie game. You're in the outfield. You're looking at the ball. You go to jump to catch it, and you notice it's way in the rafters. like it is out of the park. And you just realize that you worked so hard to chase that down, and you were never even close.
Nope.
And that's what that situation, in my opinion, was. It was just like, wow, kind of embarrassing, right?
Yes.
And not only did you get that deal at first, you got a deal that everybody else got. And here's the posterizing moment. Microsoft, you could say they tried to play nice, but they knew they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
They were giving they were giving Sony a deal that they were giving pretty much everybody else. They knew Sony wouldn't like that. They're greedy. They want the deal that they had prior. That's a good reason why this deal wasn't sufficient enough for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I hand a person a burger and they're like, oh my God, thank you. And then I hand the next person a burger and they're like, where'd you get this? And you're like, I got it from McDonald's. And they're like, oh, I don't eat that shit. And then you're like, okay. Give everybody else a burger around. And then it's starting to get late. That sucker's hungry.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take that burger now. And you're like, bro, all I got left is fries.
I've got a Coke for you.
Yeah. Here's some fries and a Coke, man. I ain't got no more burgers to be giving out. And he's like, but I can see that burger right there. And he's like, yeah. But now I'm hungry.
No.
And I want to keep it. And I tried to offer this to you, but you were too good for it.
Yeah.
So you can take these fries and the last little bit of this drink or nothing. And that's really what it was. It was like you went from having all these games from Activision. The deal was you had to take it 2080, just like you did to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had to take it 2080. You did that to us? Oh, you don't like that deal? Well, neither did we. But we had to take it. So now, since you don't want to, since that's not good enough for you, all these games and, 80-20 split, how about a 70-30 split? He starts to get the grin and, oh, that sounds pretty good, actually. But only Call of Duty, sucker. That's it.
Yeah. The price of that burger is the fries now. Is what Phil Spencer told Jim Ryan. He's like, if you want, like, I was gonna give you the burger, you didn't want the burger, I'll give you these fries, but it's gonna cost you that burger I was gonna give you. So that's the deal now. And yeah, he just whittled his way into a worse deal. And here's the thing. We make fun of Jim Ryan, but it's like he did what he was kind of like put there to do. Like his job is to, tried his best to stop things like this from happening. He tried his best, but in the end, it just kind of backfired. It kind of just backfired on him, and
If Jim and company didn't want this to happen, they should have had a realization sooner.
mm-hmm.
Like MBG was having that realization, but as he was having that realization, I think Sony was having the same realization. Like maybe we shouldn't have did A, B, and C. We really tried. We really tried to bury the ammunitions guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's I mean, think of think of playing Borderlands and being like, I'm trying to bury Marcus, the gun creator. I'm trying to bury the gun guy, the guy that gives me my guns. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the ground. The guy that taught me how to shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the ground. Microsoft's been doing business, big business deals for a long time. And one thing that they don't let happen very often is an L.
Yeah.
They're never gonna they do not like to hold that L. And you made Microsoft hold an L for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when Phil found a way to get back at them with the strength that Microsoft has, which is what? Money.
Yep.
When Phil said, hey, I have a plan, as long as you put the capital down, Satya's like, yo, that plan's pretty nice. Let's see how it plays out. Because what we're doing is perfectly legal. And
yes.
And the market suggests it's going this direction. And here's what gets on my nerves so much. Here's what's so disingenuous about the argument from fanboys that Xbox is buying up the company or is buying up the industry. What has Sony been doing?
I mean, talk about it. I
mean, Sony's been buying studios. Embracer has been buying studios. NetEase been buying studios. Like all these companies, Tencent buying studios like crazy. Saudi Arabia, let's get into the gaming industry. How are they doing it? Buying studios.
You've even got Netflix buying studios. So, I mean, yeah. It's
like, who do you want to acquire this stuff? People that don't know what they're you want Amazon with Luna? Do you want to switch to Luna to play Call of Duty?
Yep.
Do you want to play Borderlands on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like all these things are gonna get bought regardless. My personal opinion, the way I look at it, is I would rather Sony, Microsoft to get dibs. I want that because those are the two most familiar platforms to me. Now, Amazon could come out in 5 years or something and say, yo, we got a new console. We got a new way to play. And I might find it dope. But I tell you what, it's unfamiliar until I have it in front of me playing.
Exactly.
So do I have confidence that they can outdo somebody that I've been hanging with for 20 years, Microsoft, or someone that I've known for almost 30 years, Sony?
Yes.
No, I'd rather trust the ones I know more than somebody new. like Apple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look at Disney. They're huge. They're thinking about selling off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So people are getting mad about these acquisitions and all these big companies and stuff like that. Like, yo, big businesses can be doing bad and need to sell off.
Yes.
And if Microsoft doesn't buy them, somebody's going to get them.
100%.
Someone's going to pick them up. So it's just like all the complaining is just nothing.
Exactly. And that especially applies to Activision Blizzard because like when this deal was announced, we also found out around the same time that this deal had only been in talks for like, when was it announced? In January? They said it was in talks since October of the year prior. So that's like 3 months, maybe. Oh, chat's going pretty nuts. Okay, so David Durashala is here. We've got Back from the Dead, Stanley Francois, Hard Days Mike, Jeremy Brown just got here. We appreciate all of you guys. Let's see. John Wolf says Jim Ryan ordered a Big Mac meal and only got 2 chicken nuggets. Oh God.
Facts.
Back from the Dead, Sony has been taking content out of third-party games I pay the same price for on Xbox. That's a fact. I mean, look at Destiny 1 and 2 when Destiny 2 launched. Jeremy Brown. Yeah, Call of Duty. Call of Duty's a yearly thing with PlayStation where you're getting less content on Xbox, which is just, it's nonsense at this point.
Which is not happening anymore.
Oh no, that is done. That is finished. Jeremy Brown says, Jim played himself. He had a good hand, but you gotta know when to fold him. You gotta know when to hold. Yeah, Jim didn't do that. Jim did not know when to fold or hold those. But yeah.
Oh, he knows how to hold the L though, because he's holding it nice and strong.
He sure is.
To have to write your company's name or your name, you had to write it in that ink that you didn't want to use. That didn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It's like when you get pulled over by the cop and they're like, you see your court date right here, now sign. You're just like, fuck you. It's just the feeling that you get. You're just like, fuck you, man. I don't want to sign this shit.
Oh my God. 100%. And so speaking on this deal between PlayStation and Microsoft, just to put into perspective how big of news that was, I got an article. Well, not even an article. This is just literally a tweet from, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but I'm sure you are. But Discussing Film, which talks exclusively about film, made a tweet saying Microsoft and PlayStation have signed a deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. That's how big of a deal this is, that the account that only talks about film is talking about the Call of Duty deal between Microsoft and PlayStation. And that's just to put into perspective what a huge deal that is. But there was that news, and then this next news we got to get on to is Ham's favorite news of the week, and that is Xbox Game Pass Core, Console, PC, and Ultimate. Ham, what are your thoughts on these things? Because to just explain up front, Xbox Game Pass Core, I've got it here. Let me bring this up as well, actually. I've got it here. For Core, it's $9.99 a month. You get online console multiplayer, a catalog of over 25 high-quality games on console, member deals, and discounts. Now, the next tier, this is the problem that I have with it, and this is hundreds of high-quality games on console. Now, this is just your regular Game Pass tier. New games on day one, member deals, and discounts. Now, there is something missing from that, and that is online multiplayer. Now, Ham, I know you're quite passionate about, or quite opinionated on this whole tier list here. What do you think about this?
I eased up on the core a little bit because I found out it was still $60 a year.
Yes, that's a good deal
So
for 60 a year.
So $60 a year, because I was looking at that $9.99, and I remember asking when I was on a podcast, and I got corrected, and I'm thankful that I got corrected because I didn't know that $9.99 first one. It's $60 a year if you pay like wholesale price.
Yes.
And I got a little angry about that because I was like, "Where's Ultimate?"
Yeah, sure.
Because I want a yearly price on that. God damn it! Like I don't want to pay like I don't like seeing that on my monthly statement. I don't like seeing that. I'd rather just pay it once a year and have it come out whole like that each time. But yeah, the core, I went on ahead and backed off of it. I still don't actually love it, but but it's not much different. It's a better deal than it was before. It is.
Yes, definitely.
My main issue now that I got complete understanding of what core is, my main issue now is just console. And it's just like, I don't know. And here's the way I put it on another show. I said, "Yo, what happened? How would you feel if you got offered Netflix, the base Netflix, right? And you can watch shows, you can't download them though.
Yeah.
Your shows come with commercials. And then that's it. That's the base program for Netflix. You got commercials and you got streamable shows you can't download. And then for the next tier, let's say you can download shows, there are no commercials, but you can't stream them now.
It's silly, man. It's so dumb.
That makes sense. You can watch all the same shows and you don't have any commercials with them, but you can't stream them now. That's what that kind of looks like to me. It's like, how is it that I get up higher in a tier? I'm paying $1 more. I'm up higher in a tier, but I lose a perk. I lose not just a perk, but a big perk.
Like a massive perk, yes.
So like I just don't quite understand the whole not having online in your second tier. I don't get it.
Yes.
I think and I know a lot of people have said, "Yo, this has been like this for a while." So you're telling me that it sucked for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you're not telling me it's okay. And I'm not accepting your answer that, hey, this is okay. Some people just want to play single player and some people don't want to play multiplayer. The core will give them the multiplayer aspect, and the higher tier will give them more games. And I'm just like, now, all right, by your own way of, putting this together, I'm getting more game, but no multiplayer.
Yeah.
Does this more games, do any of those include any multiplayer game at all? Because now I'm getting hundreds of games. I went from getting 25 to hundreds or 100 plus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that you handpicked all of these games that are only going to be single player. How about Exo Primal that just dropped last Friday?
Yeah.
I hope you don't put that in that. because I'm not able to play it right off the bat.
That's true. That is true. I think like, oh no, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, like, how about Grounded?
Yeah.
How about I mean, all of these games, and then how about games outside? How about games outside of Game Pass? So freaking, you decide to get what is it 2K or Madden or FIFA or Borderlands or Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play none of that online.
Nope.
All you can play is the free to play games online. So Halo, I'm stuck with Halo and Rogue Company and Rocket League.
Yep. That's
So
like,
I see what they're kind of doing. They're kind of cornering you into Game Pass Ultimate in a way by doing that, because it's just like, it's such a weird deal that it's just like, why even bother? But the thing that makes it weird to me is it's just like, yo, it's not just a why bother. You're asking me to pay $7 more. That's almost double
yes.
just to be able to get internet with it as well. In my opinion, like, if and here's where I don't know, because I'm not in the boardroom with Microsoft. Here's where I don't know. I'm just shooting for the wall or shooting for anything. I think they should take them 25 games out of there in the core, make it like $5.99 or $5, and just give you online.
Okay.
And just say $5 a year. I mean $5 a month for online. I mean, because clearly they don't want to give it for free.
That's how it seems.
If they don't want to give it for free, I think they should just make its own tier and just say internet only pass. Internet pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And then for $12.99, I think they should have they should have the 100+ games and online for like $12.99. And then for $16.99, have the whole ultimate shebang, and it's everywhere, all that stuff. That's just the way I would like to see it, because I don't think there should be a tier where you don't have online.
I agree with that.
That's my whole thing is how in this day and age, when there are games that come out that you need to play online, like Exoprimal that just came out.
Yep.
Where it's just like, dude, like, that's just the basics. And that's not the only type of game that does stuff like that. There's been several other games that did that, in games that died from needing people to be in. So why would you kind of corner your own community? You're kind of cornering part of your own community to not even partake in some of these games that possibly need players.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, Mike had an actually pretty interesting way to fix this in chat. He said Game Pass console should have day and date. I'm assuming he means Game Pass Core. Because that's how I read it. But I'm going to say Game Pass Core. Game Pass Core should have day and date multiplayer, but no cloud streaming or EA. Or maybe he is talking about Game Pass console. But I read that as Game Pass Core. So, and I agree with that if that's what he's saying. Like, put games like Exoprimal in Core. where it's like if it's day and date and it's multiplayer, because you have access to online multiplayer, put those multiplayer games in the core thing. Now, if you're someone who really only does care about single player, then console is fine. But I think honestly, realistically, no Game Pass console. So you're talking about just the 1099 one. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think realistically, what you need to do is you either need to get rid of the paywall, which I think 100% that's what they need to do, or their other option is to add online multiplayer to all of these. Because you can't have one that costs more without it. That's just silly to me. Or you adjust the price. You adjust the price of. Oh, what do you say? Okay. Oh no. Okay, you adjust the price.
No,
of...
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because you're at the part in Dark Tide that you just were.
Oh yes. See, yeah, the last like 5-7 minutes of this were just terrible. Or absolutely terrible, and I haven't played it since.
We
and it's
came back. We haven't came back to this game because you were so mad about this part, and I'm telling you that it was because of the difficulty that we went into it with.
I think
I'm sorry
so.
to get you off course, but
No,
we
you're
went in
fine.
there like double or triple the difficulty, and Matt was not having a good time.
And it was just the end. Like, I died, I don't know, like twice. Dumb stuff during the whole thing. But this specific part, I just kept dying. They just kept killing me. And I'm just like, dude, this is terrible. This is horrible.
I was back there holding the damn line, and Matt was just, he was.
I'm getting the shit kicked out of me right here. They just beat the fuck out. Oh my god.
You were in the shits, bro. I was like, man, I'm gonna hang by these stairs and let them just keep trying to come up. You getting attacked from every goddamn direction. Man, you were down horrendous. But anyways, continue.
No, I'm saying like but yeah, dude. Did you just see the part where they literally just ganged on me?
They got over the top of you and just beat the brakes off of you.
Like it was like it's a cartoon fight or something. It's like oh my god.
God damn, this man got stomped.
I got obliterated, dude. But yeah, I was saying like they need to either take away the paywall for online multiplayer or add it to all of these, because it doesn't make sense to have one that costs more without it. And I think the other option is lower the price of core. Like if core is $60 a month, $9.99. I mean $60 a month, $60 a year, $9.99 a month doesn't make any sense. That could be, like I think the price you threw out earlier was like $5.99, or I was thinking like $4.99. And then you have console at $10.99. Add online to that, because it's just dumb that it's not there really. When like you pointed out the perfect game, Exoprimal, just launched in Game Pass. I want to play it. Oh, I can't because I have Xbox Game Pass console. It's dumb. And yeah, I've also seen people say,
you
well,
have to have internet to even use Game Pass console. So taking away internet like playable games just seems so like just not helpful. And here's why I was kind of saying the whole $5.99 thing. Like I agree with you on the whole there shouldn't be a paywall. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But here's why I say make them pay, I guess, because you clearly don't want to give it for free. And here's one of the reasons I say that. It's because, look at what happened with Sony when their shit was free.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad security. Me and Mike were talking about this in the party yesterday, but yeah, go off on it.
Yeah, so if it's free, we've seen how careless things can be when they're just left to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And we already seen not that long ago how careless Microsoft was about games with gold games.
Yeah, true.
Like every once in a while there's something okay in there, but okay was the best that you got
Yeah.
out of that service. And why? Because it was pretty much free at that point.
Hmm.
So I don't want to see them like if free means bad or not up to snuff, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want it to be like good, safe, comfortable. That sounds like something that you might have to pay for unless you have a PC, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And if they need to make it $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, do it. Nobody, if somebody is paying for that bottom tier, they're not looking for them 25 games. I'm sorry, they're not.
Okay. Yeah. True.
In my opinion, they don't care about that. If they were okay paying the $60 a year and getting those games that came into games with gold, and that service didn't die, you're just merging it, I can tell you right now they did not care about those games.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, instead maybe just give them a better deal, take the games away so you're not using that for no reason, and then just make the second deal maybe a little bit better, but because it has internet, but also make it more make it better for them in the sense of oh well, now I have games I can play online.
True.
Not now every single service, core to ultimate, you're able to play games online, and it's like it's just more functional because everybody has access to play online with any game. But obviously, if you're in the most basic, you got to buy the game, but you can play it online at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what anybody in those bottom tiers are looking for. If you're in that bottom tier, you're in there because you got Madden, or you got FIFA, or you got Borderlands, or you got Grand Theft Auto, or you're set with the games you have. You just need access online. That's what that
Pretty
bottom
much,
tier
yeah.
is. You're all set. I only buy my games. That's what the bottom tier is.
Yeah.
I don't like to buy my games. That's what the top tier is. Or maybe, yeah, I like to buy my games, but I don't like to pay or I like to try them before I buy them.
Yeah, full price day one.
And here's another perk that they could add to that. Yo, you don't get access to all these games, but since you're in the core and you pay for online, we'll give you that discount still to purchase at Game Pass prices.
That's not bad. That's decent, yeah. Especially because it has the Game Pass name tied to it. So
exactly. To me, there was so many ways to do this deal that made more sense than what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to keep it honest because it's just like I hear so many disingenuous people out here saying like, "Oh, you never give Xbox any honest, you're just shilling for them." No, man, I still want a good deal, and I still want things that make sense. And here, I'm an ultimate guy. I'm not moving. So this core and this console thing, it really doesn't affect me personally.
Yeah.
Then why are you mad about it? People may ask. Because I still like to talk about this stuff with people that are interested to get into gaming and they want to know what's the best way to enter. When somebody asks you, hey man, what place do you suggest to eat at? What TV do you suggest? You're going to pull out your favorite one and you're going to tell them the best thing about it or the best way to get into it, best deal, yada, yada, best thing, best bang for your buck on the menu, whatever.
Yeah.
So when somebody says, yo, man, I've been hearing a lot about Xbox. I heard Xbox just got Activision Blizzard. I'm thinking about picking up an Xbox. What's happening over there? You know what I'm not going to do? Talk about the bottom 2 tiers unless they ask if there's a cheaper version. Oh man, that $16.99 sounds a little bit more expensive. Yeah, sure. If you just want to try it, I guess get in there. I guess I could say the core. I could say the core right now because it's not the worst deal.
Yeah.
But as soon as I mention the next one, I'm no longer able to play with them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If they were saying, yo, I want to hit you up and play a game with you and have you kind of like walk me around this thing and we can figure out some games to play together, well, then don't get the second tier because we won't be able to do that, which is silly. Get the first tier, pay a little less.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have to buy all those games for the most part, except the 25 that they give you that, you know, turn around or whatever, come out new every once in a while. I don't know, man. It's just, I just don't love it. I really just don't.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm ecstatic about those bottom 2 tiers. You know, the monthly price on those bottom 2 tiers. Obviously, core is core at $60 a year. That's fine to me. Like, that's fine. That's whatever. I could probably suggest that to someone who's really only into like the games they got, the games they buy, and stuff like that. I have no issue suggesting that to someone. It's that second tier where you start to run into problems. So in the chat, PS5 blows said said games with gold sucked except for like 2 months. And I remember these 2 months, or I remember one of these 2 months very specifically. It was the month that Xbox was like, "Hey, we're raising the price of gold to like
Gears 5, yeah.
Yeah, it was like $120 a year or something, or like $180. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, but here's Gears 5. It's like, what? I've already played this like multiple times at this point. Why are you raising the price and giving me this?
It was 120. It was 120. And they, because that's what I thought it was when we were looking at that that $9.99. I thought it was like that, and there was no $60, and that was the issue before.
Yeah.
Remember that they were taking away the $60 for live a year, and they were turning it into 120, which was literally doubling it, and it wasn't. There was like no benefit to it. They were talking about just giving you better games on games with gold, possibly. And that was the kickoff with Gears. But we all knew, like, yo, you guys are working on games, and Game Pass is the best stuff that you got. So what is this really? And they didn't have any answer for it. So they had to take it away.
I got my mistake. That's my fault.
We know you're working on games. You're not putting anything in here anybody needs.
Right.
And they're like, you got us.
That's my bad. That's my fault. I mean, you caught me. You caught me. Mike says he's considering dropping down from Ultimate to PC tier. I mean, honestly, you only play PC, you might as well. And PC is another reason I think they should get rid of this
Let
whole...
that RAM burn up, Mike, and watch you be salty as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then you're back to your. Then you come crawling back to Xbox.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Did my PC just have a notification? I don't think it was my PC, Mike.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
But dun 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 dun. But okay, yeah, I love that song. But forget that. I mean, yeah, you go down to the PC tier, Mike, and check that out. I guess. I mean, looking at it here on my screen, what's the PC? Hundreds of high quality games, new games on day one, member deals and discounts. So is that perks? Or is that just member deals like, oh, you're in Game Pass, you get a discount on the game that you want to buy?
I don't
I guess
know.
it's
I mean, Mike likes lowering his quality. He got rid of his PS5 for a PC. Now he wants to
true.
go from Ultimate down to only PC Pass. I mean, man likes to degrade, so let
That's
him
true.
degrade.
He keeps degrading that PC with more hardware. I'll tell you that. But Nikita in the chat, Nikita, what's up? She was actually at one of my streams I did last week. Very consistent in the chat. We appreciate you very much. But I mean, we've covered this Game Pass core console PC. We've covered it. We've covered all that stuff. The next topic, and this one's going to be a relatively quick one, but it's just some positive news for Xbox. Apparently, that Xbox Bethesda or Xbox Starfield Direct showcase got over 92 million views total. Now, I'm assuming because I'm pretty sure when you click on that link for the actual showcase, it did not accrue 92 million views on YouTube. So you would assume this is over. They got the metrics behind the scene. This is over things like Twitch. This is over YouTube. This is over people who just watched it via the games and events app on Xbox. So yeah, a lot of people watched that showcase. Like unanimously the best show that Xbox has ever put on. I mean, do you have anything to say about that, Ham?
Um, in my opinion, I just think that shows how much different they're starting to look from previous years. How much progress that they've made. I mean, the numbers, I mean, stats don't lie,
Yeah,
right? So,
definitely.
in my opinion, this shuts up. This shuts up so many people that were saying Xbox was on the downhill spiral, and it looks like they're shutting down, or they might as well close it up or whatever. Like this shuts all of that narrative down.
Yes, it does.
They 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 literally just said right then and there, they are more appealing for this showcase. In the terms of showcase, they're more appealing than Nintendo and Sony right now.
Mm-hmm.
In the terms of showcase. And that is a big deal. You got some mind share going. That's what that is. It's some mind share. Now, obviously, you have to
Capitalize on it.
yes, thank you. You have to capitalize on it by having the games come out and be good and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Starfield was a major reason behind this whole craze that was the showcase.
Yes.
Being as viewed as it was, because everybody's just like, yo, Bethesda, new game, new IP, yo, 45 minutes of just new. Like that had to be like kind of jarring to some people, because you hear a showcase, you think maybe 2 minutes per game. But then there's a 45 minute segment of one game that literally showed for like a minute and a half during the showcase. And they said, "Oh, you want more? Well, we got more than we can give."
Yeah, way more. Way more. It I I was gonna say on that, because I remember after the showcase, I was so hyped that I was watching reactions to the showcase. I was watching like people, even people who are like critical of Xbox. I would check out their reactions, and obviously you get to the Starfield thing, and they're like, "Oh boy, we'll see how impressed I am with this." And then by the end of it, like 90% of these people are like, God damn, that looks really impressive. Where it's just like it's kind of undeniable. Even if Xbox isn't your favorite, you gotta just look at that and be like, wow, wow. Especially like the way they ended it with the whole powers and space kind of thing. Like I don't know. It was kind of just mind blowing. But yeah, that like everything you said, Ham. I mean, that was just like, to me, that was the best show Xbox has ever had, or at least ever since I've been watching, you know, their shows regularly. I don't remember a show ever being as exciting or as hype as that was. And Starfield was a huge, huge part of it, which was nuts.
Well, well, to even unpack that just a little bit, like, yo, like think about how popular the IP that is Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
After the Starfield showcase, Matt, you tried to get a Constellation edition at the moment you were really wanting, that watch, and you were willing to do whatever at
Mm-hmm.
first to get it.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I was gonna grab that, and then I think, what was it, a day or 2 days went by. I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. It kept being sold out. Eventually, I was like, you know what? I'll just get the premium edition or whatever. And I was also looking at that even the statue. They had just like a statue of your robot companion. I was like, you know what? I'll get like the premium edition, and then I'll get that. And it's like, even the statue's hard to get. You go to their website, it's often out of stock, like very often.
Yep, it's out of stock on their own website. It's out of stock everywhere. Or or for a while I just went to Best Buy just now to try to get the Constellation edition right now, and it's still
Out of
sold
stock.
out.
Damn, yeah.
Still out of stock for the Constellation edition. And that's what I'm saying. It's been out of stock like crazy. Anytime
Yes.
there is stock, it goes right back out of stock. And the part that's even crazier about this, because at the beginning of this conversation, I said Spider-Man. Remember?
Yeah.
The Spider-Man day one, like big bad bundle is $229 or something like that, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Look that up
Let me
for
see real
myself.
quick.
Spider-Man collect. I'll just call it collector's edition.
I'm pretty sure that
Spider-Man 2
is
collector's
still
edition.
on sale
229.
right now.
Yeah, I can add it to my cart on PlayStation right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is what? How big of an IP?
I mean, it's the biggest comic book IP, comic book superhero of all time. You know?
And you have Starfield out here sold out, while Spider-Man is not at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that says a lot about not only, the game that is Starfield, but the direction that Xbox is just kind of going, in my opinion.
yes. I
Like,
mean,
And how many times did they say this game would have probably been out already? It would have probably been out before even 11/11/22
Mm-hmm.
if Xbox wasn't looking to acquire. So I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, well, this is just a Bethesda game." If it was just a Bethesda game, it would have been out. But it's an Xbox Bethesda game now.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
little food for thought. That's all I got to say.
I mean, it's interesting to bring that up because, I mean, yeah, it seems at a lot of points, a lot of various points throughout this whole process, it's been reported, yeah, this game would have been like if the alternate reality happened where Sony got this game exclusively, this game probably would have been out in like early 2021, maybe late 2020, which is just something that's wild to think about, how much extra time they were afforded because of that acquisition, where they didn't feel the pressure of having to release this game early, probably broken, and now they can just sit back, they can work on it, they can get to where they feel very comfortable with it, and then just release it and have it be a polished experience, which is, I mean, the most ideal thing and what everybody wants, I think. But yeah, I mean, putting it in perspective against, Spider-Man 2, I honestly didn't know that was still available. Like, I didn't know. I thought for sure that would be sold out as well. But, you know, I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked to see that's still available.
I knew that because I seen a post of a fanboy yesterday because the tides are turning. I tell you, I repeat, the tides.
Now, darkness, the tables are turned. Do with him whatever you like.
I'm
All
telling
right.
you, the tides are turning, and it's unfortunate to see in a way, but at the same time, just like what Sony did with these third-party deals and exclusive this, exclusive that, exclusive content here, we get it a year early. We get this before you. Because of all of that, Sony created this monster that is Microsoft. Well, guess what happened with the fan base?
Yeah.
Because Sony's fans were arrogant. They were kind of mean from time to time. I mean, take that lightly or with a grain of salt, kinda. But yes,
Yeah.
you know, now that the tides turn, you see Microsoft being an absolute thug and saying, "This is all you get." And what are the fans doing? Yeah, sucker. That's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
Hype man in the background, right? Don't you can't cry foul now. And what I'm telling you that I've seen somebody post, "Oh man, you guys are down bad. Must be because I see Starfield is completely sold out, while Spider-Man, your oh so great IP, is still looking for people to purchase. Things
Yeah.
must be real bad right now for ponies." And I was like, "Oh shit!" like I was reading that, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like these fools out here are ready. Like they,
Yeah.
like you don't understand. Like so many fans have been, so many Xbox fans have been just prepping, essentially. They're like the Republicans that you're like, why do you got all that ammunition? Why you got all that food in your? Why do you have all that food in your garage, or what's this underground bunker that you got? And they're like, I've been prepared for this day.
Yeah.
And now that it is right around the corner, I'm telling you that you ain't welcome around these. And I'm just like, God damn, like the internet ain't having it. Like
Nah.
they like Xbox fans didn't quite create this energy, but they're willing to deflect and reflect it. No problem.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's a little tragic, it's a little scary, but it's the reality. It's the
Yes.
reality of it. I mean, just like sports. Just like sports. When LeBron lost the finals to the Warriors, he was bloodthirsty until he got back to beat them. And that's it's no different in this situation. Xbox fans are like, I can't wait for you to stumble because I see you stumbling. I'm going to help you by tripping you one more time just to make sure that you fall. And then I'm going to run. It's just
100%.
Oh man, it's
100%.
smoky out in the streets right now. It is smoky. And it ain't because of the Canada fires. It is just smoke.
Dude, yeah, 100%. Nikita actually brought up the fact, the fact that the deal for Activision Blizzard was extended, which I did briefly mention in the beginning. But I guess we should talk about that really quickly, just go more in depth on it before we get to the last topic. So the deal is extended until I believe it's October 18th. They have it to close this deal. The question I want to ask you is, do you think we'll get to October 2018? October 2018. October 18th.
No, I don't think we're gonna get there at all. I think this is gonna be closed up as soon as they possibly can. I think they just extended it that far for safety purposes, just to give more time than is even needed, especially seeing what just happened, how they ran so close to the time and was kind of like hurrying up and rushing to do stuff. So I totally think that they're gonna get it done beforehand. Because from what it looks like, the deal is done for the most part.
Yeah.
It's done everywhere except for pretty much the UK.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is, I feel like this is just Microsoft posturing at this point. And just saying, you know what? We've been whipping so much ass. We even fucked y'all up. But I tell you what, we gave Sony a really harsh deal, but we understand that you guys are the government over here in the UK, and we ain't done yet. So we will work with you. So the next time we're in this situation, if we become in it, but it will obviously probably won't be for this much money.
I mean, yeah.
But if we ever see ourselves at this situation again, you can't bullshit around with me with these things anymore, because we'll have already squared it away from this last time.
Yes.
Now that you see my direction, don't act like I'm surprising you anymore. So to me, loose ends. That's all this is just loose ends. So then things can just come out smoothly.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I don't think we're gonna get to October 18th with this. I feel like this will probably be done. I mean, in the chat, Mike is saying early August. He'd love the end of July. Nikita says August. I'm very much with both of them. I think this is done by the middle of August. Honestly, I think, I mean, I'd be ecstatic if it was the end of July. Speaking of August, did you know technically we will be playing Starfield in August because I went to go check the page for it. It launches early access August 31st to 8 p.m. So apparently that
What does?
Starfield
August 31st?
at 8 p.m.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so and that's apparent. I guess that's something that Microsoft is just going to be sticking to now, where like games release 8 p.m. the day before, which I'm not going to complain about. The sooner I get to play Starfield, I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, they've been on a roll with that the past few games at this point, where it's just like 8 p.m. the day before you can hop in and play. But that is for early access, of course. On regular access, I believe it's 8 p.m. on the 5th of September is when you'll be let into play. Back from the Dead says, I'd be surprised if it's not already done and they're waiting to announce it at Gamescom. That's interesting. When is Gamescom? I think that's what, the August 20 or
It is
August 18th?
August.
August 18th to like the 23rd or something? I could have those wrong. Or the 23rd to the 27th. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Nikita Percy says August 31st next month with the premium edition of Starfield. That's 100%. That is what I'm going for there. Uh, in fact, I might get the premium add-on bundle. I know people are gonna hate. These ponies are gonna hate me saying that. I'm gonna get the premium add-on bundle and then buy the disc later on sale. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But I mean, either way, I will be playing that August 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm ecstatic. But as for the final topic, some great news to go out on, or at least for me it is. I'm sure it is for a lot of people who feel nostalgic about things. But the list of best-selling games on Xbox right now, 4 of those at the top of the list. These aren't just like they made the list. These are at the top of the list. Number 1 best-selling game on Xbox, according to Xbox.com, is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Number 2 is Modern Warfare 2. Number 3 is Black Ops 1. And number 4 is Modern Warfare 3. That's 4 Xbox 360 games leading. 4 Xbox 360 Call of Duty games leading the best sellers on Xbox. It's 2023. And you're probably wondering, well, why is that happening? Well, it's because Microsoft, and I thought this was Activision who fixed it, but apparently it was confirmed to be Microsoft who went in and fixed their specific servers for Call of Duty's matchmaking on the old 360 versions of the game. Now, Ham, I want to ask. I know you've checked out Modern Warfare 3 a few times. I've seen you playing it the last few nights. I've been doing nothing nonstop but like playing old Call of Duty at this point for about a week now. So I'm just covered in nostalgia at this point. Are you surprised? I don't know what I'm trying to ask. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, are you shocked to find out that Microsoft went back to actually fix these servers?
Am I shocked? No. I mean,
No.
once they seen the sun rising upon the horizon, and they were like, they just was like, get it done, damn it. We need like straight up. Like these games were already playable.
Yes.
Right? These games were already playable. What's one of the things that Xbox champions? That's backwards compatibility.
Yes.
Having these things already available, plus backwards compatibility. And one of the things Phil Spencer says is he wants to try to preserve games the best that he can. For Activision Blizzard, that would mean servers, keeping them alive. We already seen like what happened when they took away when Activision took away Overwatch, the original one.
Oh
Backlash, like
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
A quick way to get a W as Xbox acquires Activision Blizzard and already having them games launchable on their console is do the exact opposite that Activision just did with Overwatch. Instead of taking life away, you give life to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the most powerful things to give people is memories. Not
Oh
only
yeah.
like new memories, but reliving old ones.
Yes.
And I mean, I've seen tons of people complain about PlayStation 5, including myself, about how you can't play any PS3 games on it. Certain PS4 games you have to rebuy. You can't play any PS2 games or PS1 games on it unless they give you them in the highest tier.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that is a little rough, but then, even PlayStation themselves seeing, maybe that wasn't the best idea because they ended up making a whole team just for backwards compatibility. And now if you look at their service, like I just got done saying, they do have some older games in there, but still, they wish they would have thought of that or put more stock into it before they made a console that couldn't even take advantage of any of the hard copies of anything. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they feel like they missed out on something like that, but for Xbox's situation with this whole Activision Blizzard thing, I think it was a no-brainer to make sure everything's kind of fixed up, because if you're getting if you're getting Activision Blizzard, the first thing a lot of people are going to think of is my favorite games that were on there.
Yes. 100%.
And if they're playable, and what are you going to do with those older IPs? Are you going to make anything new with them? Well, one of the first steps would be continue having those old things playable. So if you did so happen to make a new Spyro, a new Crash, or a new Black Ops or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I think a lot of people would really love to be able to play the old ones while waiting for the new ones. Man, I tell you what, if they come out with a new Modern Warfare 3 and they bring back Terminal, man, I might man, I might pass
Ham.
out.
From all reports, the new Call of Duty this year is supposed to be a remake of 3.
But the thing is 2 is what had Terminal originally.
2 did have Terminal originally.
So if it's supposed to be a remake of 3, are they gonna like just shove Terminal somewhere in there? It's not in 2 currently.
I don't know. But the thing is,
I'd love to see that map be remade.
But the thing is, I don't know if Modern Warfare 2 is a remake, because Modern Warfare 2 is a whole new story. I don't think that's a remake. I think because I think Modern Warfare 3 is going to be a remake, because I don't, from what I understand, the plan wasn't to have a Call of Duty this year. And, for whatever reason they decided, hey, we want a Call of Duty this year. What can we do?
In my opinion, I think it was because they weren't sure if this deal was going to go through, so they wanted to make sure that they got money regardless.
True. That's probably, you probably nailed that, honestly. But yeah, I think from what I'm reading, in fact, I'll look it up while I'm talking here, but from everything I'm reading, Modern Warfare 3 is going to be by Sledgehammer Games, but it's a full-blown remake from everything I've read on this. It's a full-blown remake as far as the campaign. I see what you're asking is the multiplayer and the maps and everything. I would imagine those maps will be in there, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. As of right now, they haven't even announced a date for this game. you would assume sometime the end of the year, probably November, December, something like that. But
It's weird to hear that Sledgehammer is doing a full-blown remake of an Infinity
Ward
War
game. Yeah.
game. That just sounds wild to me. What I would anticipate them doing, and K Mega touched on it last night, is an advanced warfare, a new advanced warfare.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That would make more sense to me. And man, I'm not gonna lie, I'd really dig that because the first advanced warfare was awesome.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really like the Advanced Warfare. I didn't get into it. I didn't buy it at launch, and then by the time I did buy it, I really only play campaign on it. So I kind of missed out on that. But this article here from when was this? March 30th, 2023. Modern Warfare 3 remake release date. When is Modern Warfare 3 coming out? So we don't have a release date, but it says the Modern Warfare 3 remake release date is one of the most searched topics by Call of Duty fans. It seems that the community. Okay, just tell me if it's a actual remake, please. I'm looking to see if this is actually a remake. It's unusual to see Infinity Ward heading 2 consecutive releases, or maybe Infinity Ward's working on this. I'm so confused. It's a Modern Warfare 3 remake, though. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd find it weird to hear that Sledgehammer is working on an Infinity Ward game. That just sounds wild.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 3 officially revealed. I know they revealed the logo, and they also changed the color scheme from white and green, which it's been forever, to black and red, which, not a huge deal, but it looks a little weird to see that for Call of Duty. But it is what it is. But we are getting a Call of Duty this year. It is set to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 remastered. Mike said he's heading off, so we'll talk to you later, Mike. I do want to say I appreciate everybody who stopped by in the chat. It's very, very much appreciated. Having a lot of fun on this show. I feel like it's a better show than it was last week, and it's going to continue getting better from here on out. So I'm happy with that. That was the last topic. I mean, as far as my opinion on it, I mean, I'm ecstatic about old Call of Duty. That's when I was really, really, really playing Call of Duty. Like COD 4 all the way to Modern Warfare 3. I was hooked every year on Call of Duty. Call of Duty and Halo were my thing. That actually makes me want to go back and play old Halo. I'm not going to lie to you. And maybe I will at some point. Well, just because it was like that specific time period. It's like when I'm playing Call of Duty 4, I feel like I also need to play Halo 3. Because I was also playing a lot of Halo 3 at that time. But yeah, it's just nostalgia. Nostalgia sells, and it's selling very, very well for Xbox right now. But it does raise some questions or concerns from fans of PlayStation. I saw this guy's tweet the other day who was saying, he says, oh, Fratanga Plays, quote tweeted the tweet of Microsoft confirming that they went ahead and fixed old Call of Duty servers as opposed to Activision.
Right.
Fratanga Plays says, and they told me this merger is bad for competition. And this guy replies, did they fix the PlayStation servers? No. So your point is void. And I thought that was hilarious because it's like, you're asking Microsoft to fix Sony's servers. And if they don't, then that's not competition, is what he's saying, which is absolutely insane to me. I don't know about you, but that's a wild, wild take to me. Say that,
I mean, Microsoft can't even get dev kits from Sony. They think they're gonna get servers to be able to fix. Like, get real. And plus, Sony ain't finna go back and fix the PS3 servers. They just ain't. They've already tried to shut things down over there. Like,
yes,
it's that is their choice to fix something for their console or let it die. If they wanted to go back and try to fix the mag servers, more power to them. If they wanted to go back and fix any of the prior generation servers, they can't. The problem is it doesn't correlate with the current generation. So they're not going to do it. As where Microsoft thought a little bit further down the line and said, you know what? Maybe these old games will still want to be played. So we're going to keep them available. Oh, we just so happen to purchase a couple a couple different publishers that just so happen to already have either games on here or a library of games we're willing and able to support on this console that we prepared to be able to have backwards compatibility. So being able to throw this stuff in there isn't going to be a problem because the console already knows how to decipher it. And then at the same time, these games, all they need is pretty much a flip of a switch to be turned back on for the servers to be like, oh, we're back.
Yep.
We're turned back on.
And that I'm so happy you brought that up because that was my point. Like this guy was replying to Fratanga saying, "Oh, and they told me the merger's bad for competition." His whole point is, well, this doesn't affect competition. And I'm sat here thinking, well, actually it kind of does because it makes Sony look kind of stupid for not thinking forward with backwards compatibility. Because maybe this is the thing that Sony needs to be like, wait, we can still make money off of old Call of Duty? Like, if Sony sat there looking at Xbox making, like, on the best sellers list on Xbox is 4 360 games, and they're all Call of Duty, you know damn sure they're over there at Sony like, why is that not on our PS5? What did we do? Why is that not on our PS5? They've got to be thinking that right now, and maybe that kicks them into gear on some backwards compatibility. I know you said this was news a while ago that they put a team in place to actually work on backwards compatibility. Start working, start figuring stuff out because that's money on the table. I know even if Activision is owned by Microsoft, that's still money Sony can make just off of old stuff that they haven't seen in years. They haven't seen this stuff in years. I mean, Sony needs to get it together in that aspect, and that's why I think this specific news in relation to the merger is great for competition because it makes Sony look stupid for not doing something they should be doing. Now maybe they will do it. And if they do, then that is fantastic news because I got a whole bunch of PS3 games back there that I can't play on my PS5. I got to boot up my PS3 to play those. And that's, I love the PS3, but it's a little bit annoying. But it is what it is. That was the final topic. Ham, do you have anything you want to add before we get into the outros?
No, I'm good, man. I think I kind of said what I need to say. And I agree with you that, I mean, it's on them to realize the state of gaming that we're in today.
Yes.
We're in a time of gaming where a GameCube game like Super Smash Brothers Melee is like $120.
Mm-hmm.
Shimigami Tensei is crazy in price. Sonic Adventure for Dreamcast is around $100. The Sonic Adventure 2 is around $200. Games that before were like $50.
Yeah.
What that's telling you is today people are loving nostalgia more than ever.
Yeah.
Look at Nintendo. They are literally a nostalgia reimagined machine.
Yes.
So Sony, as much as you want to tell everybody to look ahead, even you yourself are doing remakes. What do remakes mean? Nostalgia.
Yep.
You are tapping into the nostalgia, but you're not going very far back. And it's confusing a lot of your fan base because it's like you're redoing and remaking or rumored to redo or remake things that aren't even old.
Yeah. No nostalgia. No nostalgia for. I got no nostalgia for Last of Us Part 2. They're talking about re-releasing Last of Us Part 2. For what? It's 60 FPS. You're gonna charge me $70 for DualSense features? Is that what we're doing?
Well, see, I think this is a topic for another day because I want to jump into this, but we're currently ending the show, and I think this would be an interesting subject to bring up for the beginning of the next show because it's just like
Alright.
I really want to break down the direction that I see Sony taking right now because it's clearly, if I were to just cut it short and just say what it is them trying to create a mascot, and they're doing it through movies plus game.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to get they're trying to give you that family sensation like Nintendo has, where it's like, oh, Mario, Peach, Zelda, Kirby, Pokemon. They're trying to give you that, like, you know, all these. Most of those games have TV shows or something like that with it, and they're like world renowned. Well, Sony's trying to do the same thing, but in a mature way. And yeah, I can't wait to talk about that more.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be talking about that more. But there's something else I want to say, but honestly I forget. It doesn't matter. We're coming up on 2 hours here. It's been a packed show. I feel good about it. I feel like we can head into our outros right now. Ham, let people know where they can find you, bud.
So please, if you enjoy my takes or if you even enjoy Matt's takes, you can find me and him on my channel every Friday for Bullsitting. We do that show at 3:00 Central, 4:00 Eastern for Bullsitting. But I have an awesome show tomorrow on my channel, which I'll actually put that in the chat. I don't think I'm a moderator, but I'll put it in the chat.
I don't even know how to make you a moderator, but
you like here on my name, you hit the dots. So I'll just put hello right here. If you just hit like the dots next to my name or to the right of it, and then you can go to add moderator or something like that. But
there you go.
Do you see it?
Yeah, just hooked you up.
There you go. So yeah, so tomorrow on my channel, I have an awesome episode of Behind Them Sticks with Mr. Colt Eastwood.
Whoa.
He's gonna be on there, talking about his kind of history in gaming, how he got into it, how he got into content creating, stuff like that. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you come through. Here's the link to that channel right there. I'll spam it in there.
Yes, spam it.
Oh my goodness. There we go. So yeah, go on ahead and click that. It'll shoot you straight over there. Go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live, so you don't have to search it up day of or whatnot. But yeah, it'll be a good time tomorrow with Colt Eastwood, and then on Friday with me, Matt, Cozy's crazy ass, and Loke's pony ass. You can listen to a pony, right? Then right. You know, right from the podcast from us. I can already give you a taste of what it's gonna sound like. There you go. So that's that's something you can expect. All right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really fun. Thank you for allowing me on your platform again, Matt. I know
Dude.
it's kind of our podcast that we're doing,
Yeah.
but I always appreciate being a part of somebody's stuff. So thank you.
Dude, anytime, man. And anybody wondering who Cozy is, by the way, rewind this to the intro, and the lady who does the intro, the voiceover, that is CosyBeluga. And make sure you listen to the second part of the intro, because that is especially CosyBeluga. But with that being said, I mean, as for myself, you can find me here as you can expect. I mean, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I got videos on Mondays. We do this stream on Wednesdays, and then I got a video on Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern for everything on those days. Plus, I might make some more content if there's ever news that drops during the week or whatever. I feel the need to get on top of that as fast as possible. But other than that, find me over on TSWS with Hamsolo, Loke, and Cozy every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, or 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern, like Ham just said. And then the Game Drain every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that is over on the Game Drain. I'll actually leave a link to that in here as well once we wrap up the show and everything. But with all that said, I think we can hop on out of here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.